Okay, we are in the Miami Heat's training center with Mr. Erik Spolstra. Mr. Spolstra, thank you for sharing your time for Mozart TV. First of all, I would like to ask you, how are you, and are you excited for the next part of the season?
Yeah, doing very well. You know, all of us were able to get away, for All-Star break and kind of recharge these last 2.5 months of the season. It's a lot of fun, for everybody. This one, the competition is the highest. You're playing for something, and we think we have a great opportunity ahead of us.
Okay, how important it is to have this type of break, during the season, especially when you have so much away games, so many obligations to fulfill?
I think it's good for the whole league, and I think that's why it was designed that way. The league worked with the Players Association, made it a little bit longer. We had to celebrate our association All-Star Weekend. It's an amazing ceremony, and all the greats of the game come back for that, and it's a pretty cool thing. But also, there's enough time to get away, and disconnect and just get your mind off of it. You can't focus and stay locked in, every single day. You do need to kind of recharge, for this final push. And like I said, it's the most exciting time of the year as all the playoff positioning starts to become a little bit more clear.
You spent one day in Belgrade last summer, had the chance to see Nikola Jovic at the national team preparation for the Eurobasket. How was that experience for you?
Yeah, I spent 4 or 5 days there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a blast. I've traveled around a lot, visiting former players, Slovenia, Italy, a bunch of different places.
Okay.
But I'd never been to Belgrade.
Okay.
And I always wanted to go there. It's one of the basketball capitals of the world, and I was excited to meet up with Nico in a different way than just being here in Miami or on the road or meeting in my office. This was totally different. I was able to spend a lot of time with his family, spend some time with him. Not talk about basketball, not talk about the expectations of this year, and just kind of see him in his element. The national team was terrific. Coach Pezic was so gracious with his time. I was able to go to lunch with him, able to see practice and see the game against Slovenia. I really enjoyed it. It was one of the highlights of the summer for me, and I also got to just see how crazy the fans are for the sport. It's really cool to see. Basketball is like a religion there. The average person walking on the street, knows a lot about the game, knows a lot about the NBA, is following the Miami Heat because of Nico. I mean, of course they're following the Nuggets, but it was cool to see that they're following, our young talent, because we're excited about him.
How do you see Nikola's development throughout the last almost 4 years, and especially since the last summer until now?
Yeah, it's been the journey of a young player in this league. He has changed and grown and matured so much.
Okay.
I mean, when we first had him as a rookie, I think he was the youngest player in the draft.
Yes.
And he came in like a kid, and as they should. I can't even imagine being a professional basketball player at 18 years old. But he really went to work in our program, changed his body. He's put on probably 30 pounds, since joining us. He's really developed his game, he's developed a competitive nature. And his improvement has not been linear, but there's definitely been improvement that you can see if you just go back from where he was then. And I think each year working with the national team has helped him mature and grow as a player. Each year he's had to fight some injury stuff that has provided some setbacks for him, but he's developed the grit to persevere, and he's doing that this year as well.
Nikola signed a new contract last summer, and many saw that as a cornerstone for the future of this franchise. How do you see that?
Yeah, there's a reason why he earned that contract. Even with some of the injuries that he's had, is because he's really developed in our program. Like I said, not only physically but emotionally and mentally. But he's a unique player, right? Somebody of his size, that versatility just really unlocks so many things for our team when he's at his best and he's healthy. Because he's 6'10", he can handle. He can be a point forward for us. He's really improved his shooting. He's got a great vision and size to be able to deliver passes, that he can make look easy that are not. And you can play him with a lot of different lineups. You can even play him as a backup center. In the second unit, it provides a lot of space. So there's a lot to be excited about. He still has a ways to go in terms of development, but we're really excited about having him in our program and locked up and signed for a few years.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Spolstra, for sharing your time.
All right, appreciate it.